Hello, I'm Vanessa. Welcome to this 45-minute practice, which is targeted today on the spine. So we're working through all the major movements of the spine, looking at extension and flexion of the spine, lateral flexion of the spine, as well as a spinal twist at the end of the practice. This practice is going to include some longer holds, and it's also going to be a quieter practice. So I'll be talking a bit less and allowing you just some time to experience the postures as we move into each one. So when you're ready, just coming to a seated position on the mat. Hands can be folded in your lap or perhaps resting on your knees. We're going to close down the eyes and just spend a few minutes turning our attention to the breath. So notice the breath now. Notice as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in, allowing any distractions, stress, tension from the day to release. Inhaling and exhaling all the time through the nose if you can. Long, steady breaths. Just taking a few moments before we start our practice to turn our attention to the life force that is our breath. Inhaling and exhaling here. Allowing the shoulders to relax. Back is straight, chin slightly back. Just continuing to breathe in and breathe out. And now bringing your attention back to the room, perhaps turning the gaze down to the mat as you blink the eyes open. Just taking a moment for the eyes to adjust to the light. We're going to move into our first posture from this cross-legged seated position. So bringing the feet together to touch in front, creating a diamond shape between your legs. We want the legs to be a comfortable distance away from the body. The feet to be a comfortable distance away from the body. So not too close in here, but a little further away than you might normally do. And then we're just going to round the body forward. So bringing the head and neck forward, allowing the back to round. Resting your hands on your feet, on your legs, maybe on the mat beside you. Although we don't specifically need any props for this practice, if your practice normally includes supporting your head on a block or a bolster, then you should feel free to do so here. But it's not essential. Just dropping the head will allow us to release through the spine here. So find your position and then become still. Slowly rolling your body back to an upright position now. Head comes up last. Allow the spine to return to neutral. Our next posture is going to focus on lateral flexion for the spine, so bending our body to one side and the other. We're going to do that with a bonus hip stretch here. So we're going to come into our shoelace position. We'll start by bending the right leg on top of the left, so just crossing over so that knees are one above the other. If you're feeling any pain or pinching in your lower knee here, then you can always do this position with your bottom leg out straight. If you're feeling any pain in your top leg, then you can also adjust the position of the feet or perhaps the height of the knee until you find a position where you're not feeling any pain or pinching in the knees. Once you've found that position, just going to walk the right arm out to the right and bend the body over to the right. Arm can be above your head, perhaps resting on your head, or if this is not comfortable, then perhaps on your hip. For some people, they'll be looking for a bit more stretch, and so coming down onto the elbow is an option. Also using a block to help prop up your hand is an option, or to have it under your elbow. So just finding that spot where you're getting a nice stretch all the way down the left-hand side of your body, and then settling into stillness there. Always remembering to breathe, just enjoying that stretch all the way down the left-hand side. Also creating a really nice flexion through the spine as we bend to the right here. Of course, we're getting that bonus stretch through the hips. So you should be feeling something in your right hip. A stretch through the glute muscle, the IT band. And if you have your lower leg straight out to the front, you'll also be getting a stretch through the hamstring on that leg, the back of that leg. If having your arm up becomes too much, remember you can always bring it back to your hip. Using your right arm now, we're going to push back up to sitting upright, bringing the head up again, giving the body a minute to adjust. We're just going to allow the body to bend forward here to increase that stretch through the hip, to make sure that we're getting that stretch through the hip on the right hand side. So just allowing the body to come forward any amount. It's going to be here for a short moment, releasing through the lower back, stretching out that hip. And then returning back to upright, and we're going to do it all to the other side. So releasing the legs, perhaps giving them a little shake here, and then folding to the other side. So this time the left leg will be on top of the right. Knees can be approximately aligned. Remembering if you're feeling any pain or pinching in the knees, be it the bottom knee or the top knee, then make any adjustments that you need to. We don't want to be experiencing any pain in that area. So you could choose to straighten the bottom leg, or perhaps stack something between the knees if you need to, adjust the position of the feet. Just experiment to find a place where you're not feeling any pain. And then we're going to walk that left arm out to the left-hand side and allow our body to bend to the left, getting that stretch down the right-hand side of our body. So again, arm can be resting on your head, resting on your hip, or even down at your side. You're still going to be getting that stretch down the left-hand side of the body and the flexion to the spine as we bend to the right. Down the right-hand side of the body, and that flexion to the spine as we bend to the left. So finding your position here. Arm could be straight or bent, elbow perhaps down on the mat. Just get into a position where you can remain in stillness. Remembering if your arm is over your head and it becomes too heavy, you can always bring it down to your side or rest it on your hip. And then using your left arm to push your body back to center. We're going to fold forward now to intensify that stretch through the left hand, hip and glute. So just walking yourself forward any amount here may be enough for you. Some people can come all the way down to rest on the knees. Remembering the target now has moved to the hip on the left hand side. So just find your position. Be still here for just a minute. Taking your time to push back to an upright position. Release the legs. Then we're going to come to an all fours position as we transition to our next posture. So when you're ready, coming to hands and knees. Knees should be underneath the hips, hands and wrists underneath the shoulders. I'm just going to take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So as you inhale, looking forward, tailbone comes up. And as you exhale, rounding through the spine, navel towards spine, head comes down. Breathing in, head up, tail up, spine arches. And as you exhale, spine rounds. Head looking towards navel or knees. We'll take one more, inhaling. And exhaling. Coming back to a neutral spine now. Just looking over the right hand shoulder. Move the hips slightly to the right. Some people call this a side cat. And then we're going to take it to the left. So looking over your left hand shoulder, hips come towards the left. Again to the right, looking over your right shoulder, looking at your cat's tail. And coming to the left hand side. And then returning to neutral. For our next posture, we're going to come to lying on our stomachs on the mat. We started off with some rounding of the spine. We then moved into some side flexion or lateral flexion of the spine. Our next posture, we're going to be extending the spine upward into a sphinx pose. We're also going to be feeling potentially a little bit of compression or healthy stress in our lower spine here. So coming to lying on your stomach on the mat. Holding on to opposite elbows, raising your torso up, resting your weight on your elbows here. Legs can be any distance apart. They can be completely close together or wide apart depending on how you find the posture. And if you're already feeling too much pressure in your lower back here, then you can walk your arms forward. You may find that resting with your arms further forward or even just resting your chin on your palms is enough for you. Alternatively, if you're looking for more pressure in the lower back, you can bend your legs and you'll find that that intensifies that healthy stress through the lower back. So just finding the position that's right for you today. It may be different to the way that you've performed Sphinx on other days. Just take it easy for your body. Once you've found the right level for you, thinking about the position of the head, do you wish to drop it forward? Or would you rather allow it to drop back? Perhaps closing the eyes. Turning inward here and noticing the sensations that you feel in this posture. If at any stage you find the posture becomes too much for you, you can always allow your body to come a little lower down, walk those elbows forward, perhaps resting your chin in your hands, just releasing that pressure a little. There's no Yin Yoga police telling you you must stay in the posture that you started with for the whole duration. So very gently and slowly now, just allowing your body to come down onto the mat. Perhaps resting your head on your palms as a pillow, or turning your head to the left or to the right. Just going to take a short rebound here. Allow our spine to adjust back to a neutral position. And so coming into our next posture now, coming back up onto the elbows, you may want to watch the screen as I demonstrate getting into this pose, because it can be a little tricky if you haven't done it before. So we've got our weight on our elbows. We're going to bring the left leg up alongside us, so bending at the knee. The right leg is going to walk out to the right, so just using your foot to walk the leg out, and then taking your head into your right hand, so turning your body to the left, taking your head into the right hand, a little like you're relaxing at the beach. We're then going to use the left hand to take hold of that right foot. So the leg that's straight, you're going to bend that up, take hold of it with your left hand, and then just allow your body to roll backwards. So as you do so, you might want to adjust your right arm and shoulder. Arm may come out to the side, shoulders towards the floor, or you may find that your left shoulder is floating a little in the air, and you just need to find that space where you're getting a really nice twist through the spine. You may also be feeling some bonus stretch here through the glute, the hip flexor, the quad, maybe through the muscles along the side of the body. We're primarily using this pose today as a spinal twist, but it is a great all-round yin posture because it does give you stretch and healthy stress to many parts of the body here, even an opening across the chest and shoulders. So once you've found your position, settling into stillness. Perhaps experimenting with the position of your head, seeing what that does to the stretch, the sensations in your body. So releasing the back foot now, just rolling back onto your front. Going to prop ourselves back up on the elbows. This time bringing the right leg up alongside us, so bending at the knee. Walking the left leg out to the left. And coming to rest the head in the left hand. Then you're going to reach back with the right arm, take hold of the left ankle or foot, and allow the body to fall backwards. So left arm can come out, adjusting the shoulder underneath as you need to. So find your position and then become still. So slowly releasing the leg now. We're actually going to roll straight onto our back. So coming to lying on our back on the mat for our Shavasana. So getting comfortable on your back. Legs should be a comfortable distance apart. Arms a comfortable distance away from the body. Or if you prefer, one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Adjusting the shoulders, closing the eyes. Releasing any focus on the breath now. We want our breathing to just become steady, natural breath. Allowing the body to completely relax here. Absorbing the benefits of the postures that we've performed over the last 40 minutes. Noticing any areas of tension. Just encouraging the muscles in those areas to relax. Relaxing through the hips. Relaxing through the shoulders. Relaxing the head, the jaw. If you have the time to remain in this Shavasana, I'd encourage you to do so. If you do feel the need to move, Do so slowly, allowing movement to come back to your body slowly. When you're ready, rolling to one side and coming to a seated position. Perhaps eyes remain closed. I'd like to thank you for joining me in this practice today. I hope you've enjoyed the practice and that it's brought a little bit of extra movement to your spine. Namaste.